This week we're going to be looking at video games based on movies, and the first one that sprang to mind, because well, to be honest, it springs to mind for pretty much everything, is Short Circuit for the Commodore 64 in this case, made by Ocean Software. One of my standout memories to do with this game, and I say it like it's a classic story, was that it was delivered on a Sunday, and in the UK, pretty sure even nowadays you don't get post on a Sunday. I'm not even sure that all the post office is open on a Sunday, maybe. But I always remember that it was delivered on a Sunday, and I think the only reason being is because it was ordered from the catalogue. So it was delivered by a company called White Arrow, and I'm pretty sure that was basically anybody with a car. So that always stood out to me as being like, oh wow, not things that normally happen. But at the time, the Commodore 64 wasn't working very well. I think it was like something to do with like the pin connector that went into the back of the machine for the power pack. Like there was a loose connection or something like that. And I honestly believed I willed my Commodore 64 into working, because I've got this really vivid memory of being disappointed that, oh, I won't be able to play it because my Commodore's, you know, not working very well. But it did work, and I managed to play it. And I don't know if it's because I didn't play it very often, but I don't remember playing much more than that very first level, where this could be, could leave in the comments below if you know this, but you can actually play both levels just by turning the cassette over and loading the second level, like the one where you had to dodge animals. But I only remember playing that first level where you were stuck in Nova Laboratories, is for me to say, laboratory will go on. That's in Make a Shampoo, right? Yeah, but I only remember playing that first level where you were stuck in Nova. But the standout parts of that game were the title screen, which was obviously like a computerized version of the John Alvin poster with number 5 on the edge of the cliff being struck by lightning. And the music was done like using the Commodore SID chip, and there were versions of the David Shire score and the closing theme, Come and Follow Me. And even now I almost prefer the actual versions from the film. They were really, really great versions. And fun fact, David Shire is Talia Shire's husband, the woman who played Adrian in Rocky, and her company Talia Film, produced Never Say Never Again. The next game that I thought of was Moonwalker for the Mega Drive if you're from the UK, or the Sega Genesis if you're not. But there's a local success story when I was a kid, and you know, like nowadays on Dragon's Den and Shark Tank, when you get people who are like, ooh, I've got an idea for a business. Well, there's a guy who was local to me who didn't have none of that. He saw an hole in the market and was like, these kids want these Japanese Mega Drive games. I'm going to open a shop, go to Japan, get the games, sell them to the kids. And the great part about this shop, it was called Console Concepts. Like I say, it was only like 5-10 minutes from my house, 5 minutes, 15 minutes. I know I was a fast runner in those days, but yeah, it was about 15 minutes from my house, which was brilliant. But the great part was, it was in an underground shopping centre called The Village. And again, this is like one of my Dave's classic stories, but I literally think it's in the top 3 funniest things that have ever happened to me. But I was in the escalators going out of the village, and I looked over, and going down the escalators down was a little tiny squirrel, and he was like sitting there on the escalators as if like, I'm just going to do my shopping. And I was like, this is amazing. So when I got to the top of the escalators, I went back round, went down the escalators, and this squirrel ran into nearly every shop in the village. He ran in like this model train shop, I think he ran in Console Concepts, I think there was a piano shop. Basically this squirrel was bombing around all these shops, and eventually again another enterprising person captured him in like an upside down dustbin. And but it was funny when you were there and you were about 12. But anyway, let's get back to the actual game. It was a groundbreaking game, just on a pure technical level, because it played all the songs. You could almost do like a version of Ninja Magic from Shinobi, or like in Golden Axe when you can release like a potion. but you can get Michael Jackson by pressing like a certain combination of buttons. I don't know why I just hit that button thinking about it. So you could get all the bad guys dancing on screen, and they would get in like a little formation and do like a little cool dance to one of Michael Jackson's hit songs. And it's obviously based on the movie of the same name. But this is one memory that I've got of why buying physical formats was brilliant. It was a Japanese import, and I just remember the box being so cool. When I was replying in the comments the other day, Michelle Cavaglia said, oh, we hope we're doing another video for this Sunday, and she'll need a bit of a pick-me-up because she's going to be hungover. I don't know why she's going to be hungover. Maybe she's gone to a wedding, or it's a birthday, or maybe she's just an alcoholic, who knows. Shout out to Michelle. This next game was License to Kill for the Commodore Amiga from 1989. But this game was so cool. It was a overhead shooter, and for the most part you control Bond, but you also could fly planes, drive trucks, you could even swim in some levels. And I'm not sure if it was a snorkel scene. I'm trying to picture the scene in the movie, because in the game you have like an oxygen tank and it uses energy when you go underwater. But I can't remember if in the film when he's underwater, if he does kill somebody, or he gets a snorkel or a deep sea scuba diving equipment. I have to check that, or anybody who can remember James Bond films better than me can probably leave it in the comments. But there's a couple of awesome things about this game, and the version I had was actually from a magazine called Rampage. It was barely a magazine really, it got like 4 pages and it was about £8. But the unique selling point for this Rampage magazine was the fact that it had a full game, not like a demo or a couple of levels, the actual full game. So I got this, and it was around about the time I got Three Stooges by Cinemaware, which is another great film license game thinking about it. And I played this game so much, it had like the quasi-Bond theme, and when Bond came down, it turned round like it does on the trailer, so you couldn't see the letters anymore. It was the closest I'll probably ever get to being James Bond. And now we're up to modern times with a game for the iPhone. Remember them? No, I'm only kidding. It's Jaws Revenge for the iPhone. It's a really simple game, but a really fun game. It's where you control the shark from Jaws. Here's one for you. Is the shark from Jaws actually called Jaws, or is the shark in Jaws not called Jaws? I know on set he was called Bruce, but he can't be called Bruce in the film because that's really mad. Actually, as well, in the 70s, why was there such a big thing about the name Bruce? Because the shark in Jaws was called Bruce, David Banner in the Hulk was called Bruce, and Bruce Lee was called Bruce. But anyway, that's beside the point. This game was really good fun. You basically just controlled the shark from Jaws, and he went around eating people as he does, and you could attack buildings and buy power-ups, and so your attack could be better. But did anybody else do stuff like this with their phone? I've got a really bad habit, and thankfully I've got out of this now because it was getting quite expensive. But I'd get my iPhone, or phone for that matter, whichever one I had at the time, and when I was talking to the taxi driver saying all those really standard questions like, what time you on till now you've been busy, I'd put the phone right next to me and then pay for my taxi and then leave. So I'd leave like a brilliant iPhone with games like Jaws Revenge or Super Monkey Ball on there, and then again the house would be like, oh no! And I've like left it in there, and thankfully a couple of times people had bring the phone back for me, and it was you know, it saved the day. But occasionally it was lost to the ravages of time. But that was Jaws Revenge, and let's go look at some of the comments people have left for me. And just like Randy Macho Man Savage would say, ooh yeah, it's comment lever time. Let's go. Oh no, it's in reverse. Oh, I've accidentally put it in reverse. Oh, I can't believe I've never done this before. Actually, probably a bit of a fluke. I just put the clutch in and good save everybody. Here we go. First comments. Deep breath. Here we go. What's the names flying by again? This was from a Retro Crunch. Great channel, by the way. As much as I enjoy your videos, I really like your video style, especially on this one. Great editing. Oh, thank you. A lot of work goes into the videos. It's good when they're appreciated. Love your channel as well though, because one of the few people in the retro community that's pretty positive and upbeat, and it's always appreciated in these parts. And remember, if it ain't Retro Crunch, it ain't worth watching. And let's be like all them great part 2s over the years and get the second comment on screen. Of it now. This one is from James the Prince. I don't know if it's anything to do with the Prince. You need a life. Well, see what he's on there is because what he doesn't know is I actually got to floor 5 on Kung Fu Master this week. So there you go. What have you done? And let's be like Jaws 3D and get the third comment on screen. I watched Jaws 3D for a while to give that a go. Oh, this one is from. Now, see, this is put me in a bit of a dilemma here because if I read this name, it could be it's a hot potato of a name in terms of political correctness, but it's a couple of smiley faces and an upside down Y and a reverse shark fin, and yeah, that's I best not say anymore else I might get in trouble. This was on the 1984 video. It says, "I'm the real 1984, 9th of May," and can't have a go at anything from 1984. But thanks for the comment. Thanks for watching, everybody, and as always, keep it locked. Thanks for watching The Legends of Cherry Hill. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and consider subscribing.